Welcome to the Yoga Wild YouTube channel. My name is Tera and the pronouns I use are she, her. This is movement medicine. If you're new to the channel or haven't already done so, be sure to hit subscribe. In this class, we are going to pull a card from the medicine card deck. This deck was written by Jamie Sands, who is of Iroquois and Cherokee descent, and by David Carson, who is of Choctaw descent. They draw on not only their traditions, but also that of other Native traditions. And their intention is to begin or continue the process of creating awareness of our connection to Mother Earth and all of her creatures. So take a moment to look around you and see if you need any additional props. Maybe you want a blanket or a towel, or if you have 2 blocks or 1 block, grab that. Make sure you have water. And as you do that, I am going to take a moment just to shuffle these cards. Once you have everything that you need together, find yourself in a supine position, lying down on your back on your mat with your knees bent and the soles of your feet on the floor. From here, allow the eyes to gently close or to soften the gaze towards the ceiling. Take some time to notice how you've arrived to your mat today, cultivating the sense of the witness, the observer. No need to judge or to even try and change it right now. Simply note how you're physically feeling, mentally, emotionally, perhaps energetically. Today, as we move, we're going to call on the medicine of the bat. Sacred bat, flew to me from the darkness of the cave, womb-like reflections, answers it gave. Birth, death, rebirth, cycles of the whole, never ending, just eclipsed, the journey of the soul. Steeped in the mystery of Mesoamerican tribal ritual is the legend of bat. Akin to the ancient Buddhist belief in reincarnation in Central America, bat is a symbol of rebirth. The bat has for centuries been a treasured medicine of the Aztec, Toltec, Tolucan, and Mayan peoples. The long breath in, an open mouth exhale. If bat has appeared in your cards today, it symbolizes the need for a ritualistic death of some way of life that no longer suits your new growth pattern. This can mean a time of letting go of old habits and assuming the position in life that prepares you for rebirth, or in some cases, initiation. In every case, bat signals rebirth of some part of yourself, or the death of an old pattern. If you resist your destiny, it can be a long, drawn out, or painful death. The universe is always asking you to grow and become your future. To do so, you must die the shaman's death. We see in nature constantly this reminder of the cycle. The birth, life, death, and rebirth cycle. The bat today will remind us of that as we practice, as we go through our own cycle on our mat. Draw your right knee in towards your belly or chest. Give it a gentle squeeze. And then allow it to come out to the right side of your rib cage. From here, we'll take one leg happy baby. The sole of your right foot points up towards the ceiling. Grab for what is accessible on your right leg with the right hand. So maybe it's the back of your knee, the shin, the ankle, or the foot. Hold here, breathe. Try to ground your shoulders. This feels like enough sensation. Hold here. If you want to add more, extend your left leg straight forward out in front of you. Drive the left heel forward. So now you can almost see yourself in like a supine lunge position. Maybe you take the left hand, place it on the left hip to guide it down, to keep it down. Stay active through your left leg. Then bend the left knee, sole of the left foot plants, release the right foot. Allow the knees to fall right and left a few times. Come back to center. Pull the left knee in. Give it a gentle squeeze. Let it slide over towards the left side of your ribs. And then single leg happy baby. Sole of the foot points up. Left hand to left leg or foot. To add more, extend your right leg straight forward. Drive energy through your right heel. Maybe place the right hand on the right hip. Imagining you had your mat over your body. So you're in this lunge position. Lengthen your breath. The shoulders relax down if possible. Notice if there's anywhere you're holding tension that is not needed, that can be used elsewhere. On your next exhale, plant the right foot down, release the left leg. Feet are wide, knees sway or fall side to side. Then draw the legs towards your torso and rock a few times along your spine. Find enough momentum to lift yourself all the way up, cross the ankles, plant the hands, find tabletop pose. Hands and knees. And then inhale, cow pose, belly drops down, chest forward. Gaze goes forward, shoulders pull back. Exhale, cat, round through the spine, press yourself away from the floor through your palms. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. On your own, keep moving like this. Option here to make this your own. Take any other free movements you would like. Make circles through your wrists. Move your head or your neck, your shoulders. Maybe even closing the eyes, thinking less about what this looks like and instead bringing awareness to what it feels like. Bring yourself back to table. And extend your right leg laterally, straight out to the right side of your mat. Plant the foot down to the floor. Firm up through the legs. And then lift up towards gate pose, shoulders over hips, reach up. Inhale, lengthen your left side body. Exhale, big side stretch over to the right. Imagine sending all of your breath to your left rib cage, your left side, creating space in between each of your ribs. Use an inhale to lift you back up. And then exhale, plant the hands to the mat. From here, flex your right foot, activate the right leg. See if you can hover the leg off the floor. It might be a centimeter, it might be an inch. Hold here. Firm up the core, press into the palms, and then bring your right leg behind you. Hold for an inhale, and exhale, right knee down. Tabletop. Other side, extend your left leg out laterally to the left side of your mat. Plant the sole of your foot down to the floor. Firm up the belly, lift up, reach up, shoulders over hips. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, big side stretch, gate pose. Reach up and over with the right hand. Set your gaze anywhere that feels comfortable on your neck. And now, imagining shifting all of your breath to your right rib cage, using the breath to expand space in between each of your ribs. Inhale and lift. Then exhale carefully, lower the hands down to the floor. Press yourself away from the mat, activating the shoulders. Flex your left foot. Whole leg turns on, hugging muscle to bone. See if you can lift the left leg off the floor or mat. And even if it doesn't actually lift off the mat, just using the intention of trying to lift it is enough. Hold for a moment, pause. Rotate the left leg behind you, 3-point table, hold, breath in. And then exhale, table, left knee down. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs, bend and straighten the knees, stretch the feet and the ankles. Maybe you pause with one leg straight, one leg bent. Adjust through your hands, press down through the base knuckle of your first finger. Then find steadiness in your downward facing dog. Press into your feet, lift your hips higher, lengthening through your spine. It's all right for there always to be a bend in the knees. Let the heels be heavy. Press into the outer edges of your feet, the pinky toe side edges of your feet, like you're trying to rip your mat in half. Feeling how your legs start to maybe turn on just a bit more. Inhale. And then as you exhale, shift forward, plank, shoulders over wrists. Press yourself away from the mat. You can always let the knees come down here. Pull the shoulder blades towards the rib cage. Firm up the front side of the body, the back side of the body, the legs, everything working together to keep you in this position. Steadying the breath. Then step your right foot outside your right hand. One big long step, and if it doesn't quite make it, you can either scooch it up or help it up the rest of the way. Lower the back knee to the floor. Reach your right arm high, twist open. I'm going to go to modified side plank. Bring your right foot behind you. Either float the right leg off the mat or the right foot off the mat, or ground the foot down. Reach up through the right fingertips. If it still feels a little bit unstable, you can kickstand your grounded shin, bringing it parallel to the top of your mat. Feel free to try on a couple options. So maybe you start with the foot grounded, and then maybe you want to try floating and see what that feels like. You can always place it back down. One last inhale. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward again, grounded lunge. Right hand circle sweeps down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. If you have a block or blocks or something like them, maybe you place them under your hands here, creating a bit more space. Inhale, draw the chest forward, look forward. As you exhale, long pyramid, straighten the front leg, press back, hold here, breathe. Pull your right hip back in space. Draw your sternum forward, lengthen the spine. Inhale, float forward, bend the front knee. Exhale, long pyramid. Keep going like this, and then if you want to, feel free to add on. So any movement that feels good in your body, you can make a twist, you can lower the back knee, perhaps you lift the front foot. Just warming up through the legs. Again, trusting yourself to know what is best for you in this moment. Take another round of breath. And then meet in your active low lunge. Front knee bent. Hold here. Activate the legs. Start to feel the hands get light. Lift up crescent lunge. Breathe. Start to shift your weight forward towards the front foot, feeling the back foot get light. And then step forward, chair. Settle in. Take a moment to place one hand on the belly, one hand on the low back. So I like to do this as like a self hands-on assist, just to notice where my body is at, what's happening through my core and my spine. So if you feel a big sway in your back, then maybe engage the core, bring the rib cage together. If you notice yourself curling this way, engage the core, lift the chest. Once you find that strong position, reach your arms forward again. Press into your feet. Inhale, rise tall, upward salute. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back, down dog. Come back to breath. And then hinge forward, plank, breathe here. Toes or knees. Feel that sensation again of pressing away from the mat. Your shoulder blades get a little farther apart. Whole body working. And maybe if you started out with your knees up, in order to maintain the integrity of a pose, you might have to lower the knees down, and that's okay. Inhale. As you exhale, step your left foot outside your left hand. Help it up or toe heel it up. Let the back knee come down. Reach your left arm high, twist open, breathe here. Grounded lunge. Slide your left foot back behind you. Either float the left foot up or plant the foot down at the mat for added stability. And again, if you need just a bit more stability, maybe you pivot the shin parallel to the front of the mat. Try on different options or variations, noticing what works on each side, finding that place of challenge but integrity. The place where we feel a little difficulty, but we can still be intentional with our breath. We can still stay active through our legs, our arms, our core. One more inhale. And as you exhale, step your left foot forward, lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. If you need to rearrange the feet, maybe you grab your blocks or block. Inhale, draw the chest forward, look forward. Exhale, press back, long pyramid, hold here, breathe. Pull your left hip back in space, lengthen the spine. Inhale. And exhale, bend the front knee, lunge. All right, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, press back. Keep going like this. Inhale, hinge forward. And exhale, press back. And if you want to add more, now is your time. Make it a bit more free form. Stretching however feels good in your legs. Maybe you take a twist. Maybe you pause and hold. Using this time to really just explore our personal practice, our own unique self, honoring that what you might need could look different or be different than what I am needing or doing today. And then find your way back to your active low lunge. Firm up the legs. Firm up the core. Start to feel the hands get soft and light. Lift up, crescent lunge. Breathe here. Pull your inner thighs towards center line. Lift your low belly up, almost pulling your pubic bone up towards your belly button. See if you can soften the face. And then start to shift your weight forward towards the front leg, the front foot. And then slowly, carefully step forward, chair. Settle in, breathe here. Now, if you want to do that hands-on assist for yourself again, you can do that just to notice, to adjust. Press down into your feet. Shift the weight slightly back so the toes are soft. Make sure you can look down and see all 10 of your toes. Lift up, inhale, upward salute. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands down and step back, down dog. Long breath in. Open mouth, let it go. Inhale, prepare to move in downward facing dog. As you exhale, start to shift forward. In one solid movement, step your right foot outside your right hand. Help it up as needed. Inhale, reach the right arm high. And exhale, step your right foot back, pivot your left heel to the mat, plank, side plank rather. Option here to float the top leg, or stamp the right foot down on the mat in front of you. Press into that right foot for a little extra groundedness. Reach up through your right fingertips. Press away from the mat with your left hand. Take one more inhale wherever you're at. And as you exhale, plant the right hand down. Bring your right foot forward, lunge. Inhale, chest forward, look forward. Exhale, press back, long pyramid. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, hold this time. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, step forward, chair. Inhale, lift. This time, one leg Tadasana, left leg lifts. Exhale, hold and steady, breathe. Take a moment, and if you need to, you can tap the left toes down. Lift up out of your right hip. What happens sometimes is we start to kind of sink into the hip, but instead use the strength around your hip joint to steady yourself, to hold yourself. Inhale. Then as you exhale, warrior 3 with airplane arms. Press your left foot back, reach your arms behind you. Hold here, breathe. Tilt your torso forward, parallel to the floor. Now we can always use blocks or a block here, placing them under your fingertips. You can always use the wall or a chair as well to help with balance, so that we can really focus on the strength of this pose. If you'd like to add the balance element, the arms are going to stay behind you, reaching for the back of the mat. Point the left hip bone down. Activate the left leg. Send the gaze down, lengthen the back of your neck. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to blocks or the floor. Standing split, lift your left leg up. Hold here and breathe. Option to walk the hands towards the standing foot. Maybe you grab for the standing ankle. Not a requirement, just an invitation. Inhale. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, flatten the back, engage the core. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back, lower yourself to the mat. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up, plank. And exhale, down dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, start to shift forward. Step your left foot outside the left hand. Help it up. Inhale, reach the left arm high. Exhale, pivot your right heel to the earth. Step the left foot back, side plank. Option to stack the feet. Option to float the top leg. Or stamp the left foot down to the mat. Lift the hips. Continue to steadily breathe. Activate the legs, flex the feet. You've got this. Inhale. As you exhale, left hand comes down, step the left foot forward, lunge. Maybe you grab your block or blocks. Inhale, draw the chest forward, look forward. Exhale, press back, long pyramid. Inhale, lunge, hold, steady, exhale. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, one leg Tadasana, lift up, right leg lifts. Exhale, hold here, breathe. Steady the gaze, steady the breath. Lift up out of your left hip. Activate the right foot. Inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Press your right foot back behind you. Reach your arms back, airplane arms. To focus in on strength, again, you can place your hands on blocks or something else to stabilize. You're one solid line from the crown of your head to the back of your right toes. This capital T shape, point the right hip bone down. One more inhale. Then exhale, hands come down to blocks or mat. Standing split, right leg lifts. Option to walk the hands toward the standing foot or ankle. Now even here, if the right hip starts to open, see if you can point it down and instead use the strength of your right leg to lift it higher. One more inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, straighten the back, engage the core. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank and lower to the floor, toes or knees. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up, plank. And exhale, down dog. You're going to take 3 rounds of breath in your downward facing dog. So on your own, 3 full rounds of breath. When you've completed your 3rd round of breath, start to shift forward to plank. Shoulders over wrists, toes or knees. Maybe after all of these planks, you're ready for knees. That's great. Start to slowly lower yourself to the ground. Slide your hands forward out in front of you. We're going to take a variation of locust pose. So inhale, lift your head, your arms, your legs, your chest. Breathe. Send the gaze down, keep the back of your neck long. Lift a little higher. One more inhale. Exhale, lower. From here, we're gonna take half locust. So keep the left hand down, the right leg down. Inhale, lift, right arm, left leg. Press into your left palm, engage the right leg so the knee lifts, breathe. Gaze stays down. One more inhale. Exhale, lower. We'll switch. Inhale, rise up. Left arm, right leg, lift. Exhale, hold. Press into the right palm. Engage the left leg. Press into the top of your left foot. Hold here, breathe. And then we'll move with breath. On your next exhale, lower. Inhale, switch and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, switch and lift. Exhale, lower. One more each side on your own. As you complete that last round, place your hands underneath your forehead. Let your hips rock side to side if that feels nice. Hold and breathe here. Moving our awareness once again to the medicine of the bat. This reminder of the constant cycle. Birth, life, death, rebirth. Is there anywhere we resist? Any place we find ourselves holding on, resisting the next phase? Beginnings, middles, ends, the restart. Maybe you can connect to the sensation of your body lifting and lowering with each breath. Feeling your belly press against the floor and the mat. When you feel ready, place your hands underneath your shoulders. And then press your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. You can take child's pose with the knees wide and big toes to touch. Or if it feels more comfortable, feel free to take the embryo variation with the legs together, bringing your arms behind you. Forehead down to the mat, a block or a blanket. With child and the knees wide, you can reach the hands forward or hands like a pillow under the forehead. Take a moment to settle in. As you hold here and breathe, see if you can lengthen your exhales out just a bit more. Feeling your hips get a little more heavy. Stay here as long as you need to. When you feel ready, press yourself back up to a seat. Bring your legs out from underneath you. Scoot down your mat and lower yourself onto your back. Knees are bent. Supine figure 4 or supine pigeon. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Hold here. Keep the left foot grounded just for a moment. Taking this moment to notice whether this feels like enough sensation in our hips for today. If it is, then feel free to stay. Otherwise, draw the legs in towards your torso. Maybe you interlace the fingers behind your left leg. Working towards keeping the shoulders grounded and the head grounded. As the practice slows, the body slows, giving some additional awareness to what happens in the mind. Using this time as a practice to softly and compassionately bring ourselves back to presence each time we wander off. On your next exhale, let the left foot come down to the floor and switch out the cross of the legs. Keep the right foot grounded at first. Pause. Notice how this hip feels. Honoring that this side might need something different. If you'd like to add more, draw the legs in and interlace the fingers behind the right leg. Feel free to close the eyes if you haven't already. If it feels like impossible to keep the head on the mat, maybe you roll up a blanket or a towel and place it underneath the head or neck. On your next exhale, lower the right foot to the floor, uncross the legs. Draw the knees in, and then glide them out to the outer edges of your rib cage. As well as the feet point up to the ceiling, take happy baby, whichever variation is available to you today. You can grab the backs of your knees, your shins, your ankles, or your feet, insides or outsides of the feet. Feel free to add more. You can sway side to side if you'd like to extend one or both legs. Add your own flair to it. What feels nice. If you don't know what feels good, just try something and see how it goes. Move yourself back to center. Come to stillness. Pause. Draw your knees in. Curl yourself into a small or a tight ball. Inhale. Exhale, Shavasana, corpse pose, the end. Let your legs come out long, your arms by your sides, palms up. Give yourself some time to get situated, to readjust. And as you do, settle in. Maybe you let the eyes close. Sacred bat flew to me from the darkness of the cave, womb-like reflections, answers it gave. Birth, death, rebirth, cycles of the whole, never ending, just eclipsed, the journey of the soul. Where are there ways or things in your life that are no longer serving you, that are not suiting your new growth patterns? In order to invite in new beginning, new growth, we must let go or allow the old to end. Are there any places where you might still be holding tightly? I think in our culture, we're much more comfortable with the birth part or the beginnings, perhaps the middles, but the ends are the tough place to be, the challenging part. How can we respect all aspects of the cycle, calling on the medicine of the bat? Medicine of rebirth. Trust the process and the infinite cycle of life, death, and rebirth. If you'd like to stay in corpse pose, Shavasana longer, please feel free to do that. If you're ready for the rebirth, the new beginning, slowly invite movement to your fingers. Perhaps you rub your fingerprints against your thumbprint, noticing the texture, sensation. Wiggle your toes together. Stretch out your hands and your fingers, your feet. Roll out your wrists and your ankles. Starting to invite this movement, exploring it as if it's the first time. When you feel ready, take a big full stretch, fingertips to toes, head to heels. Carefully roll onto one side, pausing in the space in between. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Maybe make a pillow for your head with your arm. Carefully press yourself up to a seated position, keeping the eyes soft or closed. To end our class, we'll unite the breath. Exhale all the air out. Open mouth release. Through your nose, inhale and fill up. Pause for a moment, hold it at the top. Open mouth, sigh. Allowing your own natural breath rhythm to resume. From here, I'll invite you to place a palm to your heart, to your chest. And take the second palm and place it over the first. As we move through our lives, on and off the mat, may we have the strength and the courage to recognize the interconnection and interdependence between all things on this planet, while also having the wisdom to honor the uniqueness and the individuality between all things. And may we all use this understanding to guide our actions towards creating a more just, a more free, and a more equitable world. With love and with gratitude that I bow my head to you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for joining me for practice today, for calling in the medicine of the bat, this reminder that everything in life is a continuous cycle, a cycle of birth and life and death and rebirth. If you enjoyed this practice, remember to hit like And if you have anything to share about what the medicine of the bat brought up for you, or how you see the cycles of rebirth play out in your mat, on your mat, or in your life, please feel free to share with me and with Team Yoga Wild by commenting below. Thank you.